The family secret. If someone tells you that the worst thing about being cheated on is the cheating itself, they are lying. The worst thing is finding out that everyone around you already knew. Everyone. Your friends. Your family. Your own children. Everyone except you. My name is Andrew. I am 43 years old. And for 2 full years, my life was a staged performance in which I played the only role I did not know about. The role of the fool. I will start from the end, because starting from the beginning would make this too hard to tell. Right now, I live in a small coastal town, 2,000 kilometers from the house where my children grew up. I have a 1-bedroom apartment with thin walls and a view of a parking lot. A stray cat I picked up at a gas station. And a job stocking shelves at a hardware store that has nothing to do with the career I spent 15 years building. I am not writing this for pity. I am writing this because staying silent has been eating me alive. Laura and I were together for 20 years. 2 children. Max, who is 17 now, and Sophie, who is 15. I was the kind of father who showed up to every school concert, even the ones where they just banged on tambourines for 40 minutes. I built the treehouse in the backyard over 3 weekends. I took the kids fishing every summer even though I hated fishing. The mosquitoes, the waiting, the silence. I hated all of it. But they loved it, so I went. Because family was everything I believed in. My brother Oliver was 4 years younger. We grew up sharing a tiny bedroom in a house that always smelled like our mother's cooking. He was the best man at my wedding. He gave a speech that made everyone cry, even my father, who never cried at anything. Oliver held Max in the delivery room when the nurses finally let someone in. He was not just a brother. He was my best friend. I would have taken a bullet for him without thinking twice. 2 years. 730 days. That is how long my wife's affair with my brother lasted before I found out. How did I find out? Laura's phone was on the kitchen table while she was in the shower. A message notification popped up on the lock screen. I was not snooping. I was making coffee and my eyes drifted to the screen the way eyes do. The name was Oliver. And the message was one sentence that burned my world to the ground: I miss you. Are the kids asleep yet? Are the kids asleep yet? My brother knew the bedtime schedule of my children. Not because he was a caring uncle. Because he needed to know when it was safe. I did not make a scene that night. I went into the bathroom, locked the door, looked at myself in the mirror, and decided I needed to know everything. The next day, while Laura was at work, I went through her email, her messengers, the old tablet in the kitchen drawer she never password protected. 2 full years of messages, photos, voice notes, plans. Maybe we tell Andrew after New Year's. Maybe when the kids are older. And my personal favorite, the one that made my hands shake so hard I dropped the tablet: he does not suspect a thing. Everything will be fine. But that was not the part that destroyed me completely. The part that destroyed me was what I found on Max's phone. My 17-year-old son knew. He came home from summer camp early last July. Walked into the house without calling first, because why would a teenager call before entering his own home? And he saw them. His mother and his uncle. In the living room. In a way that left no room for misinterpretation. Oliver got to Max before Laura even knew he had been there. He sat my son down and told him it was an adult situation he would not understand. He told him that saying anything would tear the family apart. He told my boy to keep his mouth shut and pretend he never saw anything. And Max did. For an entire year, my son sat across the dinner table from me and said nothing. Sophie found out differently. Her best friend saw Laura and Oliver at a restaurant in the next town, holding hands like teenagers. The friend told Sophie. Sophie went straight to her mother and asked. Laura knelt down, held her hands, and said, "It is complicated, sweetheart. But you cannot tell your father. It would hurt him too much." Both of my children became accomplices. Not out of cruelty. Because the adults they trusted most asked them to lie, and they did not know how to say no. When I had gathered everything, I did not confront anyone. I did not scream or break things. I did what nobody expected. I disappeared. Within 2 weeks, I sold my share of the construction business my partner and I had built over 10 years. Transferred the joint accounts, taking only money that was clearly mine from before the marriage. Packed 1 suitcase. Left 2 sealed envelopes on the kitchen table. In Laura's envelope was 1 sentence, "I know everything. My lawyer will be in touch." The one for the kids was longer, "I love you both more than I can say. But I need time. I am not disappearing forever. I just need to learn how to be a person again. None of this is your fault." I drove away at 4 in the morning while the house was dark and silent. The months that followed were chaos, but it was their chaos, not mine. Laura called dozens of times a day. Oliver tried reaching me through every mutual friend. My mother called sobbing, begging me to come home. My father left 1 voicemail, "Son, call me when you are ready." I only spoke to my lawyer. Then, after 6 weeks of silence, I did the thing that shattered their illusion. I told everyone. I called my parents. My aunt. Laura's sister. Every person who still believed the story that Andrew just got tired and took a little vacation. The fallout was immediate. My father stopped speaking to Oliver and changed the locks on the family house. My mother ended up in the hospital with exhaustion. My aunt blocked Laura everywhere. Friends took sides. Some supported me. Others said I was overreacting. One man I had considered a close friend for a decade wrote, "Come on, do not be so dramatic. It is just life. Just life." 2 years of deception, my children turned into secret keepers, and my brother in my bed. Just life. But here is the part one still cannot wrap my head around. Oliver and Laura did not even stay together. 3 months after I left, they broke up. Without me in the equation, without the thrill of secrecy, their great love story collapsed like a house built on sand. There was no passion left once there was nothing to hide. It was never love. It was the excitement of betrayal dressed up as something romantic. Laura lives with her mother now. Oliver moved to another city. From what I hear, he has not been in a relationship since. The kids are the hardest part. They always are. Max wrote to me 6 months later. A long, handwritten letter, 3 pages, sent by regular mail to my post office box. He apologized. Said he was terrified. That Oliver convinced him silence was the same as protecting the family. He said he cried every night for the first month after I left. I read that letter 3 times on the floor of my apartment and replied with the hardest words I have ever written, "I love you, Max. But I need more time. I will come back to you. I promise." Sophie has not written. Has not called. My mother tells me she is angry at me, not at Laura, not at Oliver, but at me for leaving. And maybe she has the right. From a 15-year-old's perspective, the story is simple. Dad left. Everything else is details. I do not know if I did the right thing. I ask myself every morning and every night. Maybe I should have stayed and fought. Maybe I should have screamed and then sat down and tried to put it all back together. But I know one thing with certainty, if I had stayed in that house, surrounded by people who lied to me for years, I would have broken completely. Not my body. My soul. So I am here now, building something new. The gas station cat sleeps on my pillow and purrs loud enough to wake me up sometimes. I started painting, something I never did before. Turns out my hands can create things my mind cannot put into words. And you know what keeps me going? One thought. Simple and stubborn, like a prayer. I deserve the truth. Everyone deserves the truth. Even when the truth is that the people you loved most in the world looked you in the eyes and chose to lie. For 2 years, they played family. And I played the leading role in a show that nobody told me was fiction.